So now we're at the point where we might talk a little bit about sharing. So if you go to preview the map, this is how it will look in view-only mode to the public or to anyone you share it with in view-only mode. Notice that if you click on something rather than just kind of showing in the bubble over the marker, it actually gives a much bigger marker reproduction on the left-hand side. Also, keep in mind that, remember we said, any columns that are not the name of the marker and the location of the marker will show up in this info area. So here, the timestamp of when they did that shows up here. If you want to get rid of the timestamp column in a Google spreadsheet, you can. But just remember, it needs at least 3 points, the name, the location, and anything else in that third column or fourth column will show up in the description box. So that is what it would kind of look like if we want to go back to our edit mode. If you want to share, so this is where you can add in collaborators or just viewers, etc. So if here I want to add in another Gmail user, because they already have a Google account, this will just add this map to their My Places. I can have them be an editor or a viewer. Viewer can't change anything, editor can. And I can decide whether or not I want this editor to be able to give access to new people. So this account is the owner, instructional services will be the editor. Okay, so right now it's really only being shared between these two accounts. If I send this link to that other collaborator, they should be able to open up within their Google accounts. You can change it so that, notice that it says only specific people can access. Before it said only you can access, it was private. So we went from private to share with specific people by invitation. If you go to anyone with the link, that means whether or not they have a Gmail account, they will be a viewer. They will automatically be able to view your map. If you make it public on the web, then it will begin to be indexed by Google, and then some of the words that we put in the map, like Niagara Falls, Crouching Panther, those things would help make it findable in a Google search. So if you are putting research in here and you want people to be able to find your map, if they type in those research terms, they would be able to do it. A word of caution that it's always easier to go from private to specific people to anyone with link to public, but it's pretty much a one-way movement. It is very difficult, if not impossible, once Google has indexed the public version, for you to really remove it. Even if you deleted the map, that information would still be on Google servers. So right now we have it saved to specific people. Just note that if I decided to, once I decided that yes, I do have some pretty good information here, then I can, if I go to share and I want to embed it someplace, it must be public. So in order for it to re-display in another frame, the code, the embed code, is only creatable if your map is in public mode. So this one, anyone can view it, no one has to sign on. So when I click on that, that saves it. Again, I highly encourage you to consider all the various steps before you go public. So now that this map has been made public, I can click here to get embed code to put someplace else. Again, it has to be public in order to be able to do that. Notice from here, you can trash the map, but again,
If you've already made it public, they will still be on Google servers. So just note that this, as we've noticed with each area, when you have the little buttons, it gives options to be able to do things. So I can rename a layer, I can delete the layer, or in this one, I can open the data layer, the open data table. So I can change anything if I wanted to make this, a capital K and a capital B. It changes that and it updates it. It does not change the original layer. So just know that these little three dots always kind of give you options about what you can do. So this is the map level options, and these are the layer level options. So from here, if you want to copy the map, you want to move it to trash, you want to embed on a site, or if you want to print the map, you could do it that way as an artifact. This export is so that if you wanted to take this map and then put it into another mapping program, you could. So hopefully this gives you some ideas of what you can do, some considerations before you make your map public, and I wish you good luck in your Google mapping.